go. Our first speaker decided to join Toastmasters to feel more comfortable about speaking publicly and getting up in front of others. She is an avid reader, but also a lover of all types of live music, especially rock and roll in the 80s. Me too. We're going to have to hang out sometime. Tonight, she's giving her first speech, her icebreaker. Please help me welcome Diane Schumacher, who will be running down a dream. Diane!
Good evening. While I was preparing for this first icebreaker speech, a news article came across that mentioned that Bob Dylan's birthday was last week, May 24th. He turned 81. 81. That got me thinking back to the summer of 1986 when I was a brand new high school graduate, 17. I was ready to take on the world and make my dreams come true. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. My name is Diane Schumacher, and for right now, I'm the newest member of the Plantation Toastmasters Club. Growing up in the 70s and 80s, I was not a Bob Dylan fan, but I was a mega Tom Petty fan. Super mega fan. I'm talking autograph picture by my bedside. I had all Tom Petty albums, vinyl of course, and anytime that Tom Petty was on late night TV, I was up late waiting for that segment so I could videotape him on my VCR, of course, so I could play it over and over and over again. I was a super mega Tom Petty fan, still am. Growing up so close to the city of Philadelphia, I was exposed to many different live bands. I was fortunate to be able to see a lot of bands from A to Z, from the Allman Brothers to ZZ Top and everything in between. But my most cherished live music moment occurred in the summer of 1986 when Bob Dylan announced that he was going to be coming to the Philadelphia Spectrum, which was the arena, with musical guest Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. This was for the True Confessions tour. There was no way I was going to miss this concert. No way. I was a new high school graduate. It was the summer between high school and college, and I was going to have the time of my life with the band of my dreams. And I was going to go do it with my best friend. So I camped out in line at the local Ticketmaster. I'm sorry, it was a Ticketron back in those days. So I could score my tickets to the concert. So after waiting in line for countless hours, I got to the front, and imagine my disappointment when the only thing left were the nosebleed seats, the highest seats in the arena. Again, this was the concert of my dreams, the band of my dreams. I was going with my best friend. I couldn't wait. And as Tom Petty says, the waiting is the hardest part. Finally, the concert day rolled around. The plan was for all of us to go together in a van with our friends who were also attending the concert. We all piled into the van, we got to the parking lot, and we started some pre-concert festivities. I was 17, that's okay. My best friend and I headed to our seats in the rafters, and the concert began. The concert was great. The music sounded awesome, but we were really far away from the action. So I nudged my best friend and I said to her, I want to go down to the first row. And she looked at me like I was crazy, and she said, okay. So we headed down our section, down all the steps, down all the other sections, avoiding all the security guards as we went. And we literally made our way to the front row center stage. And I was in heaven. We sang and danced to every Tom Petty song, some of the Bob Dylan songs as well. The people that we were next to were very accepting of us being there. And we were just really, really excited to be there. I was so close I could see the sweat rolling off Tom Petty's head. But it didn't end there. It wasn't enough. I had to be closer. There is about 6 feet of no man's land between ourselves and the stage, and it was manned by security guards that would rove back and forth between the wall and the stage. And I came up with this brilliant plan to get closer to my rock hero, Tom Petty. So I again nudged my best friend, and I said, I'm going to get up on stage. And she looked at me like I was crazy and then said, okay. So I was like, okay, you can help me. So I said, when I count to 3, I want you to give me a leg up. So she said, okay. And I turned to the guy next to me, and he said, okay. So 1, 2, 3, I stepped in their hands, and they launched me up on stage. And I was in absolute freaking heaven that I was that close to Tom Petty, but obviously that was not close enough. So as he was playing the guitar, I ran past Bob Dylan, and I gave Tom Petty the biggest bear hug, and I did not let go. I did not back down. The security guards literally had to peel me off of Tom Petty, and one of them took me by the arm and took me backstage, and then unceremoniously threw me out of the concert arena. But that's okay. I was on cloud 9. My adrenaline was going so much that I floated to the parking lot to see my friends, and they were completely gonzo that I did this, but they couldn't believe that I went to such lengths to get something that I wanted. To this day, when I hear Tom Petty songs on the radio or Blowing in the Wind, it always takes me back to the summer of 1986, that Bob Dylan and Tom Petty concert, when I was 17, young, and just a straight-up American girl running down a dream. Thank you.
That was awesome. And I love stories that involve alcohol. Thank you, Toastmaster. Toastmaster Schumacher.